Hello there, and welcome to 162 Daily Baseball Recap and Preview. With you, we're coming to you late evening in Ottawa. We just wrapped up a doubleheader in softball, lost both games to the best team in the league, but still frustrating. And speaking of frustrating, the Mariners. We got a good show for you today. We're going to talk about last night's game one of the series between Seattle and the Detroit Tigers that is taking place in Seattle this week. We'll tee up game two, which is underway, but we'll bring it to you in preview format. And then we'll take a look around at the scores from a fairly busy Tuesday evening in the majors. So first things first, let's get to the game from last night. It was a good matchup. It was Mariners starting pitcher Luis Castillo, who was going up against Keider Montero, young fellow, 24-year-old from Venezuela, who was starting for the Tigers. And unfortunately, the Tigers ended up winning the game 4-2, so the win brings the Tigers to 54-60, fourth in the American League Central. The Mariners dropped to 59-55, still first in the American League West, despite the loss. Montero's win brings him to 2-5 on the year, 5.62 ERA. He was great last night, though. Castillo drops to 9-11 on the season with a 3.48 ERA, still pretty good. And the save went to Tyler Holton, his fourth save of the year, 2.69 ERA for Mr. Holton. Interesting game. Tigers had 10 hits for 4 runs. Mariners only had 5 hits for 2 runs, and they also committed an error. Castillo's line was 6 innings, 8 hits, which is a little unusual for him, but only 3 runs, so a quality start, no walks, and 9 strikeouts. Montero went 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 8 Ks, and a homer given up. Then out of the bullpen for Detroit, they only gave up 1 hit and 1 run. So it was Vest, Foley, Brisky, and Holton who did that work. Overall, the Tigers managed to strike out a fairly typical 14 Mariners, which is bad, but the way it goes sometimes. The Mariners struck out 14 Tigers, so they were even in that regard. Voth, Thornton, and Hernandez came out of the bullpen for the Mariners. Voth and Thornton each gave up a hit. Thornton gave up a run. He struck out 2, but he also gave up a homer. Hernandez was clean and struck out 2 in his inning of work. Montero had 85 pitches in his 6 innings. Castillo had 99. On the night, 3 Ks for Polanco, 2 for Haniger and Moore, 2 for Raleigh. Not a super great night. In terms of scoring, it started in the 4th inning when Parker Meadows singled and allowed Wenceel Perez to score for the Tigers. Then top 5, Colt Keith singled and allowed Zach McKinstry to score, making it 2-0. Then Wenceel Perez singled in that same inning and scored Javi Baez, 3-0 at that point. Luke Raley homered to make it 3-1 in the bottom of the 5th. A solo shot, his 13th of the year. But Parker Meadows answered back in the top of the 8th with a solo shot of his own, making it 4-1. And then in the bottom of the 9th, Jorge Polanco got a run back by singling in Cade Marlowe, but it was too little too late, as they say. So we look for bigger and better things in Game 2, which, as I said, is underway, but we'll bring it to you in preview format. So this should be a dandy. The starting pitchers are Tarik Skubal, one of the best pitchers in the majors. He's from Hayward, California, but went to Seattle University, so a Seattle connection. He is 12-4 this year with a 2.60 ERA, 23 starts, 141 and 2/3 inning pitched, and 169 strikeouts. His strikeout number on MLB.com is in red because I believe that means he's the major league leader, and his WHIP is .94. So that's about as good as you'll get in modern baseball. In terms of a starting pitcher's statistics. He's going up against my guy, George Kirby, the Raja of Rye, the Wizard of Westchester, from Rye, New York, in Westchester County. George is 8-7 this year, 3.13 ERA, 24 starts, 141 innings pitched, 138 strikeouts, and a 1.02 WHIP. Also really, really, really good. So in terms of lineups, because George is pitching, that usually means Mitch Garver's catching, which is the case tonight. The lineup will be Robles in center, Arozarena in left, Raleigh DHing, Turner at first, Polanco at second, Moore at third, Haniger in right, Garver catching, and Leo Rivas at shortstop. The Tigers will roll out Wenceel Perez in right, Colt Keith DHing, Matt Vierling left field, Bly Madras will play first base and bat cleanup. Gio Urshela will be at third, batting fifth. Parker Meadows, center field, sixth. Zach McKinstry, second base, seventh. Javi Baez moves up a spot, playing shortstop, batting eighth. And the catcher on the night will be Jake Rogers. So not exactly murderer's row, but a good lineup for the Tigers. So we'll hope for better things than last night from the Mariners. Now, looking around the majors on a busy Tuesday night, Framber Valdez, great pitcher for the Houston Astros. He took a no-hitter into the ninth inning, but Corey Seager for the Texas Rangers hit a home run off of him, but the Royals, pardon me, not the Royals, the Astros still managed to win the game 4-2. So they're 58 and 55, so a game back of the Mariners. The Rangers dropped to 54 and 60, several games back of the Mariners at this point. All right, American League roundup. So good news in the wild card chase. If it comes to that, the Cubs beat the Twins 7-3. The White Sox over the Athletics 5-1. Nobody cares. The Angels and the Yankees were rained out. They'll make it up tonight. The Diamondbacks and the Guardians were rained out. They'll make it out tonight. The Red Sox beat the Royals. That's good, actually, for the Mariners because the Royals are ahead. So are the Red Sox, but yeah, tough one. 6-5 final there in Kansas City. The Orioles lost to the Blue Jays 5-2. Ho-hum. Doesn't look like the Yankees were in action. And so, that's right. The Yankees were rained out. That's why I'm seeing that. Elsewhere in the National League, Padres over the Pirates 6-0. Reds over the Marlins 8-2. Nats over the Giants 11-5. Rays lost to the Cardinals 4-3. That's good. Brewers blanked the Braves 10-0. Rockies beat the Mets 6-3. And the Phillies beat the Dodgers 6-2. So an interesting night. No real ground made up or lost in any significant way despite the Mariners losing. So again, we hope for a good outcome to tonight's game against Detroit. They need a victory in this one. They need a series win. Let's be real here. Thanks for listening. Have a good night.